The leader of Wakanda is turned into dust. The one who just came out with the new movie. Many of the soldiers turn into dust. Let's see, who else turns into dust? Scarlet turns into dust. You know, the Jewish girl. You know, so so there's a lot of people of color turning into dust. We're going to go over that later. We're going to have a quiz on that. I'm sure you'll ace it. Groot turns into dust. Then we have then several of Star-Lord's gang turn into dust. And then we have a nice little cinematic part of where Peter Parker humorously, during this tragic event, goes, Mr. Stark, I'm not feeling so good. And he starts turning to dust, and he literally clings, he is in Iron Man's arms, sobbing about how he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to die. And Iron Man just lays him down, and he's like, I'm sorry, and then just...
Okay.
And
but then the new Peter is so cool.
Oh my god. And then, so we basically have mostly the original cast of Avengers, save for a few side characters.
Mm-hmm.
And and then the ending of the movie. I want you to take you back to one of the biggest things of Thanos. Like, what are you aiming for? It's like, what are you going to do after all this is done? After you kill off half the universe? Okay, I am going to sit down and I'm going to watch the sunrise and feel the thankfulness that people will have for me for what I have done. For killing off half the universe. You want to know how they ended the movie? He sits on some wreckage by himself with a very melted gauntlet with the stone still in it. And he watches the sunrise and he smiles.
Wow.
You want to know what the secret, quote unquote secret ending was at the very end of the movie?
What?
We're in New York with Fury. Basically the first leader of Overwatch. With his, second in command, the lady, I love her to death. She was one of my favorite characters of all time, because she's amazing. I can't remember her name for the life of me. They are driving along, and a car swerves in front of them. They slammed their brakes on, they go peek in, there's no one there. And then people around him start turning to dust. And then Fury turns to his second in command, and she disappears into dust. And then Fury runs to his car, pulls out what looks like a over-spruced 1990s pager, pushes the button, and guess what? He turns into dust too. And then we have some symbol for yet another superhero, and that's it. That's the end.
That's a lot of dust.
That's a load of dust.
It's a load of shit, is what it is.
Yes, it is. Because what's the second part of the,
Nope, that's it.
What's the sequel?
That's it.
You're right. Well,
this is listen, I'm not going to pretend I've sold best-selling books. I'm not going to pretend I'm some high-class artist. I'm not going to pretend I'm one of the best creators of all time. The fact that we have had literally, I think, about 24 movies in the Marvel Universe. You have a multi-billion-dollar franchise going on with all of these superheroes. Why the hell could you not get a better fucking writer? Why could you? I could guarantee you, I could find better people on Tumblr who could write a better story. I could have written a better story in a matter of 24 hours than this heap of shit. Because here's the thing. There is 5 major points for writing anything. There is the beginning. They have a beginning. There is the build up. Going way up, things are getting tense, they're fighting, and they're fighting about Thanos, and stones are getting picked up, and then they have the climax of the movie. And then you're supposed to have, you're going down, it's diffusing, I forget the name for it.
Falling action.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a falling action. Thank you. There's the falling action. And then there's the conclusion. We are about 1/4 of the way down with the falling action, and it ends. There is no hope. There is no reason other than a fuzzy pixelated picture of probably another Marvel character on a pager at the end of the movie for us to want to go see the movie. There's no conclusion. There is no hope. There is nothing. They're all like half dead anyway, with so many people gone. There is no reason for me to want me to go see that movie. There is none. The poor use of characters, the awful writing, and quite frankly, the humor was really bad because it was one of those really, they used the awkward humor where like he's just like, oh yeah, Thor is like, you know, he's picked up out of space after Thanos choked Loki, by the way, which was like the one good death in there, which is it was a great death. I'm not even gonna die, not gonna lie. That was a fantastic way to kill off someone. Okay, I'm sad to see him go, but it was a great way to go. Because as he was choking and dying, he told Thanos, "You will never be a god." And then, that's not fucking Loki. I don't know what is. That was great. So they pick up. So the example is of awkward humor. They pick up Thor. The Star-Lord gang pick up Thor from floating in space, mind you, and then he's off in the back, and he goes off with Rocket and Groot to go to the Thor's People's Forge at a dying star to go get a new weapon. And he goes like, and of course, Rocky goes there like, oh, it's time to be a captain. And he's like, he goes like, so are you sure you're ready? He's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I just had a couple deaths. Ha 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 ha. That kind of awkward humor, where it's not funny, but they're trying to be funny. It just does not work. That's the kind of humor I'm talking about. They do this so many times throughout the movie. And I will give the movie this. A good chunk of their fight scenes are beautiful. There's some really, really clever ways they do fighting in this movie. There's some great cinematography. The problem is, there was no real focus on plot other than stop Thanos. And the fact there was just so much fighting, it was really cluttered. It was just like, you have one thing, you have a tiny break, you have fighting over here, then you have fighting on this planet, and then you have the fight on that planet, and then you have a little really awkward humor, and then more fighting, and just, take a Writing 101 class! What was that garbage? Oh my god! Oh my god. And just, I'm also going to use example I talked with my mom on the way home. Of a good way to do death. Of a good way to want to go see another movie. I'm going to the example of, again, more spoilers, of Star Wars. Of Star Wars, what number are we on? 7. Yeah, 7. Where Han Solo dies. That's not the very end of the movie. But, no, I know a better one. I'll continue on with this. When Han Solo is stabbed, and he dies, we all have that connection of, oh my god, because we all know Han Solo. We've been through 3+ movies with him. We love Han Solo. He's a great character, and we feel devastated when he dies. But he dies in a hugely climactic way of just, he's trying to get his son back, and it's just, and he's in pain, and you can tell just the mourning and the sorrow, and you're just like, no! But it was greatly written. It was so well written. Am I still pissed he died? Yes. Can I take it? Mostly. I'm gonna give you another example of a good death. It was okay. When did you all see the recent Star Wars movie with Luke?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna assume you have
the alien boob.
Yes, where he milks an alien. That creepy bit. Okay, I'm gonna assume you have. Cause, like, I'm on a roll. I am on a roll. Hold on. Okay. So at the end, when it turns out Luke was a projection at that battle, and then he's let go. Even that death, I was able to accept because he went out with a flash. He went out taking on literally the entire empire, and he won because the people he was trying to protect got out, and it was cinematic, and it filled in with the story, and it was rich and beautiful, and we still want revenge for him, and we still want to go see the next movie, because how are they going to play this out? Is Rey going to replace Luke? Is Rey going to be something entirely new? Is Luke going to be a ghost like freaking Yoda was? Is Han Solo going to be a ghost like it? We have all these things that we want to see when we go to the next movie. What Avengers did was basically be like, they put in all of this effort, all of this fighting, all of this planning, all of these potentially beautiful characters into one setting. They fail, utterly fail, with no sense of hope whatsoever, because he literally holds the power of his universe in this stupid, gaudy gauntlet. It's gaudy. It's awful. There's no hope. And then people just disappear into dust. Like, literally, if I took some ashes, just went, that's it. That's what happened. There's just drift. And that's it. I have, I cannot, no. It was poor writing. They should be ashamed of themselves. I hope they're ashamed of themselves. I hope they get some really sound reviews about how bad this movie was written. There is no excuse. They were not short on funds. They were not short on characters. They were not short on resources. There is absolutely no point to why this movie was a loading heap of garbage. And thank you, that ends my TED Talk. Oh, and tune in next time for when you're saying that most of the black people died. Returned into dust or died.
So, I have something to add, if that's okay.
Go for it. I'm tired.
That's understandable. Okay, so I'm not defending this movie in any way, shape, or form. 1, because I haven't seen it. 2, I don't plan on seeing it. 3, I'm not.
Pirate it. Go pirate it. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube somewhere. Go watch it on there. Do not spend your money on doing this. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna, but
I love you. Don't do it.
So, I can guarantee right now, here and now, legitimately or only canonically 4 people actually died in that movie.
Canon, quote unquote. But there's still
canon. Yes. Marvel's canon.
Yeah,
this movie's canon.
Yes, I know. And I know what you mean, like, with, like, there's always, because, Doctor Strange is like, there is an 17 billion something in 5, there's only one chance where they win. I'm sure the next movie is that they're going to win. I have no doubt, because it's a Marvel thing. But the thing is, what the other listen, I'm not even going to pretend. I gotta take a drink. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that the other Marvel movies were absolute gold. Save for what I've heard from Black Panther. Listen, I still enjoyed a lot of the Marvel movies. They still gave a glimmer of hope, even if a lot of people died. There was a lot of failures. Because let's face it, there's a lot of failing Marvel movies. Have you seen Iron Man? He's a failure. But still, they still had a sense of there is a way to at least somewhat win. There's at least a way that we can recover. There's a way that we can, if not fix something, then we can finagle something into making this a somewhat okay resolution. This movie did not have that. There is no sign of it. There's literally no sign of it. People turned it to dust, credits. No, people turned it to dust, then Thanos sat at sunrise, credits, then Fury turns into dust. That's it. I'm not exaggerating at all. That's how the movie ends. No sense of hope. There's not, like, a loophole. There's even Scarlet, who had the power to destroy an Infinity Stone, is gone. She turned into dust. But she's also Jewish, by the way, which makes her a minority.
Yes.
So
I'm not, like I said, so...
I know you're not. I know you're not defending. And I know, again... What's that?
Nothing. Ignore me.
Oh my god. But
it's okay.
I know where you're trying to come from. It's like, I have no doubt. Whenever this next movie comes out, which they had better spend... They better spend all of Amazon's... They better spend all of Amazon's money on making this movie good. Because that was pathetic. That was genuinely pathetic. That's what I figured.
Oh, I have that.
I'm sure it's Captain Marvel, whatever, but... There's no excuse. It was bad. The movie was bad, and they should feel bad.
I'm sure they probably do.
They better.